Hello, grease balls, and welcome to The Grease, where we overanalyze this week's episode of Canada's Drag Race versus the World Season 2.
Episode 2.
I am Princess Capella, joined today by none other than Joshita.
Hi, babies. It's us.
Hi.
My dogs are barking.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm out of work early today, as you know. We are
Love
here. We're queer. We're getting ready. Pride's over, but...
Is it really over? We should get a whole year.
It's over. Shut the fuck up.
Go home, queers! I'm doing great. My tennis doubles team just won in the Olympics.
I just watched the finals of fencing. The gold between France and Italy, and I've never felt more butch because I was wiling over this match. It was so good.
The only sport I get turned up for is watching specifically Rafael Nadal play tennis. I love Rafael Nadal. I've been watching him since I was fucking 14 years old.
Damn you straight people seeping into our lives.
Episode 2, Canada's Drag Race. Lemon won last week and gave the Beeves to Alexis, leaving Eureka and Lakeana to face off in the lip sync, with Eureka winning and sending Lakeana home.
Double pork chop for the first time ever.
And the odds of that happening again, I think, are very low.
I know, especially because it's usually part of the discourse of girls deciding who's going to go home first. If one girl's been there longer, if it's also this girl's first time or second time only, there's a lot of that usually goes into it. And Lemon was like, well, the fucking part, but bitch, honestly, 2 pork chops sounds really good.
Eureka can be really funny at times. So
I know, she's so funny.
Fierce is still pressed that Lemon didn't put the 2 Americans against each other, especially since it's Alexis's 4th time.
Bitch, she said that came out of her mouth, and Kennedy was like, no, girl, shut your motherfucking mouth. I totally understand why Fierce kind of was upset with Tynomi, because Tynomi fully in this interaction is like, no, say what you said earlier. What were you mad about? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, bitch, come on, I'm trying to play a game here, which I totally get.
I also wonder, behind the scenes, people say that, a lot of queens don't want to come back for All Stars, or they don't want to come back for Versus the World, and that's why we see people like, Roxy or Jujubee, people that have been back so many times. And, people have their reasons, it's fucking expensive. A lot of times you have to cancel a lot of shows to come back and do these, and then you might spend all of this money and time.
And go home first.
I do think that Kennedy was making a good point that we are legendary, that's why we've been asked back so many times.
Yeah, and they've been just doing it longer, and like you said, the pool of girls that are willing to do it anymore is getting smaller and smaller, so we're bound to see repeats.
Well, and anybody that was there for All Stars 1 just gets a freebie, I think.
Yeah, that just kind of half the cast has been back already anyway. Kennedy not having that moment. Fierce then is confronting Tynomi after everybody kind of disbands and de-drags, being like, why are you putting a target on my back? And Tynomi and her are just having the Canada battles together.
I remember the beginning of this season saying that I think Tynomi and Fierce are really going to butt heads because they already know each other. Fierce and Tynomi's energies to me seem very, very opposite.
Yes.
Tynomi is very mother.
She's chaotic good.
And Fierce is very bratty, which I love. I love both of them. But I could really see Fierce and Tynomi butting heads. I also could see Fierce and Lemon butting heads.
Me too.
But it seems like Lemon's just been kind of ignoring Fierce so far.
I agree. I feel like Lemon is just I'm going to be above that. But I would die to see a cat fight between those two.
And Fiercealiscious reading Eureka for doing a high kick during the ballad.
That fucking lived rent-free in my head.
Our Maxi challenge this week is The Hole.
Yes.
A reality TV show within a reality TV show. So the queens have to improvise as stereotypical personalities that you would see on a reality TV show.
You do realize that this is a direct spoof of The Traitors.
It's actually, not to be a fucking loser, a spoof of a show called The Mole. I think Traitors is based off of The Mole.
I watched the Mole, the American Mole.
Yes, because that's really fucking old.
I am a huge Traitors fan, so this episode was a big treat for me. And Fiercealiscious was on the Traitors Canada.
And they made like a little reference to it, and you saw her go, oh!
Yeah, and she like mentioned, she's like, I know about these types of shows. It's basically the same setup as this. So like the queens have to, but they're like doing the archetype, which is kind of like an extra layer on top of it. And the queens get to like divvy up the roles amongst themselves, so they don't have to like fight for it or like do a little mini challenge or anything like that, which was kind of nice.
Did you have a archetype that you would like to be?
I would have either gone for like the know-it-all or the super fan.
As a white AFAB person, the Karen would have been really easy to do.
Yeah.
But the super fan as well. I think there was a lot to work with there.
You could go a lot of different directions too. Or the gay guy. Oh my god, obviously.
And I think that the like archetypes that they picked for this were all really good. Like every, role seemed like it had a good opportunity for the queens to show off some improv chops.
This was such a good one. I loved it.
We're going to be going in order of appearance on the whole. We'll be starting off with Lemon, the gay guy.
Lemon killed this. She did such a good job with it. You could be super, super stereotypical and just like, there were like elements of that in Lemon's performance, but I feel like she had a little bit of like a reserved, little bit of an older gay man come out.
Because she could have literally just been herself. Like she is already very flamboyant.
Exactly. But she pulled out a character, and honestly, her quips and her volleys were so good. She had tons of one-liners. Like every other thing she said was really funny or something that I like remembered later on. I thought she fucking killed it.
The spit curl, unblended makeup, moose knuckle, and the fully rhinestoned bodysuit with like the voice that she was doing. It was almost like watching a South Park character in real life or something, like just the level of buffoonery. Lemon has definitely done well in the acting challenges and like improv challenges that we've seen her in, but this was even more like, oh my god. Like I was expecting Lemon to do well, but this even surpassed my expectations. I have her in Slayana this week.
Slayana all day.
I've got her in All Right Mama.
All right.
Wow, okay, homophobe.
Ooh, Mother Nature on the runway. Okay, for Lemon's Mother Nature runway, I generally, out of all of like the weed references that I've seen, not really liked them. This one I do like. I think it's pretty good. It's definitely different for Lemon. It's not yellow, which I like, and I think it's cute because I mean we're all a little bit of a Sona girl too.
We've seen, several kind of weed related looks before, and I think this is certainly the best as far as not going for the obvious. Well, we've both worked in the marijuana industry, so you get really inundated with like the same shit over and over, and it's all really like cheesy and stupid.
It is.
So seeing this really kind of glamorous take on it was really, really nice. Definite grease.
Grease.
And it's subtle, which is what I liked about it. Like you have to look at it for
Yeah.
a second, or you have to be somebody who's like in the community to know what it is. But yeah,
For sure.
it's a big grease.
Grease.
Up next, Eureka, what did you think?
Eureka was playing the soap opera star, which I don't think was obvious at all. She was kind of doing faces, I guess, that you might see on like a telenovela.
Yeah.
But I wasn't getting soap opera star, and I couldn't even remember what her character was until I watched it again
Mhm.
and was like, oh yeah, she was supposed to be in a soap opera. Like she didn't look like a soap opera. She wasn't trying to give like typical soap opera drama. I just think the characterization wasn't really there.
Do you remember any jokes from her?
Not a single one.
Honestly, that's kind of where I'm resting my case. The teeth came out again. It was a lot going on. I was a little bit bored. I don't remember anything from it. Like, I've got Eureka and Cut Your Wigs Up.
Cut your fucking wigs up.
See, I went as far as to drag delusion her.
Drag delusion, girl.
Like,
Whoa.
I really expected more. The runway look was kind of exactly what I was expecting from this runway prompt. All the vegetation in the forest.
Do you like it?
I do like it.
Do you like the headpiece?
It's okay. I guess it's a little like sparse.
Yeah, it's kind of small. She's got such a big trunk and such a little stump. I like everything from the neck down.
I'm still gonna grease it.
Me too. Grease. But like...
Grease.
Whoever, like when they were getting ready, Eureka says something about, oh, it's so hard like dating because I'm famous, like the girls were talking, whatever. And she said that somebody was hitting it from the back and said, Eureka, you found it. Nobody has ever done that.
Ah!
And if you have, I'm sending a personal cease and desist letter. No.
I need the video.
Nextly is Miss Fiercealiscious, the petty bitch.
So everybody said it a whole bunch of times in the episode. It was just her playing her. And she was kind of warned about it even. Like they brought it up, like sort of, I think, that it was just going to be her playing her and that there really needed to be something else. And it just kind of all played out in the scene itself. She was entertaining because I think
Yes.
Fierce is entertaining. And she did have a couple of moments that were kind of funny. She was all right. Like, it was passable. I've got her performance in Cut Your Wigs Up.
Cut your fucking wigs up.
I feel kind of similarly, and the judges talked about it too. I think that her performance overall was fine because it was really just kind of how she acts normally.
Yeah.
I don't know how she could have kind of changed it up. I'm really hoping that we get another acting challenge in this season so that she can maybe show something a little bit different because
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to see that. But for the time being, I also have her in Cut Your Wigs Up.
Cut your fucking wigs up.
Cut your fucking wigs up.
Cut your fucking wigs up.
And the runway.
Oh my God.
Come on. This is so good.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Give us your thoughts and prayers.
Gorgeous, goddess, stunning, stuntalina, Slayana, Contisha, Supreme, Dupree, Junior, St. James, the third.
Katisha.
It was so, like, beautiful. It was what I expected and then more. Grease.
Grease.
It's really good. Like there's so much detail to it. If I had one critique, it could be that there's just a lot going on. Other than that, every single thing is perfect. Like it's so good down to the belly. Like, oh my God. I think she said she was Mother Africa, which is like so amazing. Huge Grease on this one. She's probably never looked better.
Grease.
Love a pregnant drag queen.
We do. That's such a underrepresented. Next, Alina, we have Kennedy Davenport. Kennedy just took this and ran with it. You know what I mean? She was like, I'm not going to stress about it. I've done well in a situation like this before on All Stars 3. I know I can do well. And sometimes I think that that's all it takes for a queen to start, like, it's kind of like Georges on All Stars 9. Like, did well once and is like, oh wait, I can figure something out with this and run with it. Kennedy had the perfect attitude, the perfect energy, and I think she had a really interesting take on Know-It-All. You know what I mean?
I had the same note. When I hear know-it-all, I think like a nerd or something that's like really
Hermione.
bookish. Yeah, her totally 100% Hermione, and her going with the kind of nosy neighbor was so smart. Like it worked so well, and she totally committed to that role.
It was quirky and different. I really liked. I don't know. And then she came in looking a mess too, and she didn't give a fuck.
And she kept resting her hands on her boobs like this. Oh my fucking God. I have her in All Right Mama.
All right.
I also have Kennedy and All Right Mama this week.
All right.
On the Run Wazzle, I really love the bottom of the dress, especially with the like layered sequin tree bark. I also am kind of loving this like Coolio hair. Kennedy is very kind of campy pageantry.
Yeah.
And I just thought this was such a gorgeous interpretation of Mother Earth. It's not like super ethereal. It's more campy. And I'm obsessed with this. This was a Grease.
Grease.
I really like this look too. I thought like you said, like the bottom part of the dress with the layers is beautiful. She's always bodied out, of course. The one thing I don't like about it is that fucking little tinsel string garland stuff. I wish that was like vines or like something a little bit less plasticky looking. Obviously still a Grease.
Grease.
Our next queen is Lay Phil, the girl looking for love.
There wasn't enough energy or nuance to this to make it memorable. Which, I mean, I guess it's not like the biggest thing in the world, but like in this situation, like you got to be memorable. You got to be like, give the jokes that people remember and like stick out. And I think it was just very first gear, like the entire time.
It needed like to be Tila Tequila.
Yes.
It needed just, I think, horniness, just straight up. Le Phil was too restrained and never fully let go.
Yeah.
And he just kept kind of getting stuck on, oh, I want Lemon to like be my baby daddy or whatever. There was definitely room
For levels.
Yeah, levels. For real. I have Le Phil in Drag Delusion.
Drag Delusion, girl.
Me too.
Drag Delusion, girl.
But okay, I will say that there were still a couple of moments for LaPhil that I like remembered and that were kind of funny. But however, the wig on the runway, no.
Really?
No.
I
I'm
liked
not
the
here.
color.
Okay, cool.
I'm very interested what you think of his runway look.
I don't like it. I'm like, I'm grossing it. I'm sorry, I just don't like it.
Gross.
I really love the message of it.
What was the message?
He made this from materials that otherwise were going to be thrown away. So it was kind of, I guess, a commentary on like fast fashion and how wasteful fashion can be in general, especially, you know, some higher level, you know, couture-ness. You're only wearing outfits for one occasion. And that can be really wasteful. So I liked the message.
Yeah, there are like, I mean, there are lots of instances where like things should have just been left in the trash, and I think this is one of them.
I knew you were going to say some shit like this. I am going to nooch this outfit. I do not hate it. I love Le Phil, and I think he is a very, very special queen.
Me too, but this outfit ain't. Tynomi Banks. I'll admit I thought Tynomi would do worse than this. So she did do a little bit better than I thought. Like, she didn't kind of crumble. Like, the acting challenge that she was on in Canada was rough. This was definitely a little bit better, but there were like almost no jokes. At the end, it felt like she was like, I haven't said anything. So she had to like do something really quick, and then it was just not that great.
Just once in my life, I would love for this psychic character to work.
Maybe Eureka should have done it.
I know.
I don't know. It was just, I could see the writing on the wall because earlier in the episode, Lemon was like, Tynomi's in her head.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyways, it just kind of, again, unfolded in front of us. I've got Tynomi and Drag Delusion.
Drag Delusion, girl.
There were like a few glimmers of jokes that I think were kind of starting, but never fully blossomed into something memorable.
Yeah.
So I have her in Cut Your Wigs Up.
Cut your fucking wigs up.
Runway, what'd you think?
Ugh, you know, it was just really simple, and something specifically about the trident and the net I very much didn't like. It was like either needed to be dirty or it needed to be really, really glamazoned up, because it was just like a plain regular net
Yeah.
that you just got, and then like a blue, like just a plastic trident. You know, there was no like, there was no all-starredness to it.
I agree. It was...
I'm gonna nude this.
It was beautiful. It feels like it's a lot of different pieces brought together. I think some of the pieces were bought at the dollar store.
Right?
Like the trident. And the nails don't look like... They just look disjointed a little bit. Her face is beautiful. The wig is beautiful. The body's beautiful. Like, it's just... Like you said, the all-starredness is missing a little bit. I'm nooching it as well, yeah.
Up next, we have Cheryl, the super fan. What were your thoughts and feelings and prayers on this performance?
Cheryl cracked my shit up. I thought she was so good. So she literally walked into the challenge dressed as Trishelle from the most recent season of The Traitors. She won. She was dressed exactly like her, blonde,
fun.
just like her and everything. And I was so proud of her. She had so many good jokes. And like I said it last week, but like seeing her in another good light this week and seeing how good she felt about it, and then seeing her kind of disappointment when she didn't win was so sad. I was like,
Yeah.
she deserves this. Her flipping off Alexis when she pulled out her bag was iconic.
So
She
good.
Bendela creme to herself. Like there was nothing left that I
Yes.
needed from this performance. She did so well for me. I do have her in the tippy top of All Right Mama this week.
All right.
It was like she's 9 different levels in character,
Yeah.
making up lore for a TV show that doesn't exist. Like I'm absolutely obsessed with the performance that she did, and then the touch of sending herself home at the end.
It was so good.
Oh, does that? Like, oh my fucking god. It was just smart to me. So
Yeah.
smart. I have her in Slayana.
Slayana all day.
I'm just not doling out the Slayanas this week, apparently.
I don't know what you were on when you wrote your notes, bitch.
The Runway is what kind of brought it down for me. But I guess they're separate. Maybe I can amend it and we'll put her in Slayana this week.
Slayana all day.
Oh, I forgot to say, Cheryl in the performance is my gold star this week. Gold star, Cheryl.
Oh my god, that was my gold star. What did you think of the Runway?
You know, it kind of started off okay with the like Dune reference.
So you're saying she looked
No.
better wrapped in burlap?
Yeah, it was, maybe trying to give me some Fremen, some Arrakis, but it went from Dune to do not take that off.
You're an asshole.
I have the reveal look as my booger of the week. It's gross.
Gross.
Shit, I feel so bad because I really, really like Cheryl, but it was just not great. The wig was a little misshapen, the dress was a little misshapen. It was just a little bit strange. I'm gonna gross this one this week. It was just off. And I feel bad doing that because she was so good in the challenge.
Gross.
She was, and she deserves to be recognized with a gold star from a YouTube show she will never see.
Yeah, she'll never watch this, but gold star for you, Cheryl. Up last, we have Alexis Mateo. So first of all, she obviously didn't know what a Karen was because she asked. At least she asked. But I still kind of think she didn't necessarily get it. I think she was just kind of being a bitch. And it was just kind of boring a little bit. It was just she was just saying shit. I wasn't super impressed with it. I've got her in Cut Your Wigs Up this week.
Cut your fucking wigs up.
It didn't really read as Karen so much as it was just kind of maybe Mad Housewife or something. If you were going to be a Karen, you should be asking for the producers and being like, someone needs to come clean this up, or there was so much that you could have done. And kudos to you, Mama, for taking this role without even knowing what a Karen was, because she's a good sister. I do not think it paid off. She should have chosen that other role.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was okay. She still was kind of funny, even if it didn't really it wasn't really what the character was supposed to be. So I have her. What is it? Fashion.
What is it, fashion?
The Runway.
Girl, this is my booger of the week. I hate this. A lot.
It needs to be studied, I think.
I guess maybe once a season Alexis has a big stinker, and this is one of them.
I can't quite place why I like Kennedy's look so much that's super campy, and I don't like this look. I don't know if it's the fit of it or what.
It seems like a kid's type of campiness.
I'm trying to make it make sense in my mind. I don't think it's a full-on gross for me, just a nooch.
Grossing nooch. I'm grossing your nooch, bitch.
Gross.
Our next queen is Lisa Rinna, the realist housewife, who I think should be nominated for an honorary Slayana.
Bitch, no.
What?
Honestly, Lisa was annoying on the judging panel. She really came off like
Oh my gosh.
alcoholic mother, pick me. I didn't understand you were playing characters. Like, are you really that stupid?
I thought she was great in the challenge though. Like her little confessionals, I thought they almost seemed real.
You can have her.
Wow. Joshita got an extra large haterade right before
I
filming.
did. I really did. I think I've given out like 3 grosses.
I love it.
Oh my god, my bell.
My bell.
Kennedy wins the challenge.
Yeah.
Very deserved. I thought it was going to be her, Lemon, or Shez, and they were all on the top. Same top 3 as episode 1.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Cluck, cluck. Come on, girlies.
Tongue pop, bitch.
Kennedy super, super deserved it, and she gets the power of the Golden Beaver this week.
So we have Layphil, Miss Fiercealiscious, and Tynomi in the bottom, who are all up for beverage.
Beaverage.
Beverage. Serve me a nice cold beverage. Fiercealiscious thinks that she had the best critiques.
Out of the 3, I kind of agree. Like, I feel like performance-wise, I feel like there was a little bit more substance to what Fierce did than the other 2. I don't know if I necessarily agree that the critiques were better.
She definitely had the best runway.
For sure. Like, and I feel like that has to be, like, part of whoever is Beavering's decision.
This decision, I think, is really difficult for these 3 queens, right? Because we have 2 of our Canadian queens.
Yep.
And we have Layphil. And it's like, morally, right? Because that definitely factors into like the Beaver making decision.
Yeah.
Do you put Layphil in the bottom, who definitely still has something to prove?
But will most likely get demolished by Tynomi.
Do you put Tynomi in the bottom because you know she's better than the performance that she gave?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you put Fierce in the bottom, even though her runway was like one of the best of the week?
Lots of drawbacks to each.
Yeah, I think this was a very difficult decision, like morally and also as far as the game goes. I think this was tough.
I would have saved either Fierce or Tynomi if it was me. One of the 2. Layphil was probably the weakest in the challenge, and then there has to be a bottom 2, so.
Do you want to incur the wrath of Canada by putting the 2 Canadian queens in the bottom already?
No, and I have such a soft spot in my heart for Canada Queen.
Ultimately, Miss Fiercealiscious was given the Golden Beaver.
I was surprised that Kennedy picked Fierce.
I was too.
I was like, Kennedy's gonna be like, listen up, little girl.
I figured she would save Tynomi.
When she did not, I was like, okay, what's the song gonna be? What show are we about to get? And to be honest, I was a little let down.
Really?
The lip sync was like such a good song, and I was like waiting and waiting and waiting for Tynomi to like blow up and explode and do her thing, and she wasn't bad or anything, but it was a little subdued, I thought.
This song, Let Me Think About It by Ida Core, was
It's
a really
good.
weird, but it had such a good beat.
Yes.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but it was a really, really great dance song. And yeah, I was really expecting Layphil and Tynomi to like kind of demolish it because they're both good dancers, and we've seen that on both of their seasons. And like as soon as Layphil started doing the robot, I was like, no.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Tynomi, it did feel reserved.
Maybe it was just like, maybe we're just being assholes. So maybe it was just restrained, not subdued.
She was still catching like every single beat. I mean, she was still clearly on top like the entire time. Although I did love Layphil's outfit and how shiny it was.
It was cool, yeah. And the wig wasn't bad either. It was much better wig.
It was cute.
Tynomi wins the lip sync and sends Layphil home, episode 2, which is sad. It was sad to see him go, but like a couple of episodes on an all-star season where you fade into the back is sort of... It was the recipe for disaster for him. I'm bummed that Cheryl didn't win.
Really?
Like, in the end, I kind of am, but, like, Kennedy totally deserved it, but, like, because she beat her out with the runway, so she gets all the points, but, like,
yeah.
God damn it, Cheryl, I want her to win a fucking challenge.
She still has never won a challenge.
Ever.
She should have won the makeover challenge on her season. So
I know.
rigged.
Like, come on.
Well, next week we have the AI ball.
I'm so nervous.
I'm very scared because we just sent home the only person that knows how to work a sewing machine.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm nervous for everybody because I wrote this down. Cheryl, Kennedy, Tynomi, Lemon, and Fierce, maybe even more, have all been in the bottom on design challenges. Alexis went home on All Stars 5 on a design
Yeah.
challenge, which was also rigged because she had a whole
Yeah,
pool.
It
She
was
had a
not that
pool.
bad.
A pool on the bottom of her dress, and she went home.
Crazy.
Whatever. Anyways, I'm very nervous and excited to also like just to see how it all.
I don't know. I'm interested to see what the AI ball even means. I, am in software development, so I kind of work very closely with AI at times, and it cannot design fashion garments. Very intrigued to see what that even means. Joshita, do you have anything else to say? Speak now or forever hold your grease.
Sister Dick will make you sick. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Send us a cute message. Stalk us online.
We'll reply to you.
Princess will reply to you.
I can pretend to be Joshita though. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start pretending to be you in the comments. So if you leave a comment, Joshita's gonna respond.
Love it.
All right, well, we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.